What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaac here with one Jazmine Garcia, bodybuilder, legendary bodybuilder. Give us a pose. Solid. But also we have a very special guest, you're killing it, exercise physiologist Dean Somerset. It's cracking. Representing the west coast of Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, he actually knows a whole lot. He's like the trainer's trainer. Okay, would you say that trainers hate you?
No.
They actually love you.
I hope so.
It's actually the opposite, right?
If they hate me, they're not paying me.
They're not doing the right thing. So, Jazz actually has some issues, as we understand it, right, Muffin, with your neck. Just give us a brief summary of what's going on with that.
Long story short, neck is jacked up, like the front, the back. My shoulder rotation, the internal rotation is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And it's prevented me from doing a lot of movements that would be really great for my training.
Yeah, and Dean, you would say that in general, most people that train, they kind of develop over time some like aches and pains and things. It's just like with Jazz, she wasn't really using the muscles properly in basic movements. So what's that all about? Because this is far more common than people think. Like some individuals might be thinking like, you know what, man, like I haven't been injured yet, so fuck it, I'll just keep lifting the way I'm lifting. But give us a breakdown.
Most people, if you do the same thing consistently, you're going to eventually get really good at doing that, but you'll probably suck at doing something else. And when you get to a point where you're not doing the other stuff you want to do, or that you should be able to do, like if you can't bring your arm down like this, and you get stuck like that, you're going to have some problems if you ever do have to get in a situation where you need to put your arm there. Like let's say you go to grab your wallet, or let's say you go to put your seatbelt on, or whatever. Sit on a plane, you get a slump like this. The muscles that you're always working are going to get strong, and they're going to do everything you need them to do, but if you don't have the ability to do the other stuff, it's going to suck when you try to get into those positions.
Okay. All right, guys, let's get right to it then.
All right, so we found that when she had internal rotation of her shoulder, that was a painful movement. So I want to be able to see if I can improve that range of motion pain-free without doing anything to kind of stretch her or push her or do anything funky like that. Can we improve muscle strength and coordination to get deeper into that range of motion? So you tell me when we get to a point where it starts to create that pain.
Right around there.
Okay, so what I want to do is then back out of pain just slightly, and I want you to take your hand and put it right on your wrist. So if pain direction is that way, I want to see if we can develop some strength coming this way. So all I want you to do is push your wrist up into your hand lightly, like 5, 10, 15% muscle contraction. Nothing much, I just want to be able to get muscles to squeeze. Think like just a handshake level of tension. If you can get a handshake level of tension and it's not painful, we're in a good situation. Relax. Now can we get a little bit deeper into that range of motion?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay, so pretty close to about the same. So same thing, I back out just a little bit. You apply a little bit of pressure. And again, we're just working to see if we can improve that range of motion. If she improves step by step by step all the way down that line, then it's not a problem that we have to work with in terms of new tissue or whatever like that, but it's a motor control issue. If I can make her improve her range of motion without doing anything other than muscle contractions, then it's nothing that I need to worry about sending her out to a therapist for. I can actually get her to train that easily and relax. Now can we go deeper into that range?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay, so we're slowly getting improvement. So again, put your wrist there and then press. So this is a way that we can get people working. If she's not improving in that range of motion, that's fine. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that it is working. It just means that it's not seeing that immediate improvement. If it's consistently painful, then a therapist is going to be somebody who I would want to send them to. Be it a physical therapist, a chiropractor, a doctor, anyone like that. And relax.
Right around there.
So she's getting a little bit deeper into the range. Good. Put your hand there and one more time. So you're able to see how we've improved the range of motion on that just by doing a very simple isometric contraction. She pushes her wrist into her hand, light amount of pressure, and if she can improve the range of motion as she goes, we're in a good situation. And relax.
Right around there.
Boom, big improvements. Nice work. All right, so one of the movements that Jazz identified as being one that's consistently problematic with her is doing a dumbbell row. So I just want you to show me what you would normally do as a row. Okay, now does that hurt anymore?
No.
No? Good.
Not
So
right now.
we're in a state where it doesn't hurt, so it's not something that's currently inflaming everything. But now we can start working on technique on that. So when she does a row, do you row again? She has a tendency to kind of tip her shoulder up and forward. You can see where she's going in through that. So if she's rolling her shoulder forward like that, these muscles, the lat muscles, aren't working, and she's not getting that shoulder blade retraction that we were working on before. So what I want you to do is do that same thing again, get set, and I want you to think of your shoulder blade coming this way, just like we were doing before. Perfect, just like that. Now row up, and I want these muscles here to squeeze, but I also want you to tip your shoulder blade back and down. So don't side bend your neck, just tip the shoulder. Good. Now these muscles here, I want you to squeeze, and I don't want you to feel like these are doing anything.
Yeah, I feel nothing there now.
Perfect.
I feel it all in my back.
That's exactly where you should feel it.
Miracle.
Your lats go from your shoulder to your butt. So if you're feeling it down through here, you're doing great. If you start feeling it up through here in the front of your shoulder, you're tilting your shoulder, and that's what's getting back into that bad pattern you were in before. Now relax. Now try to get there again. Now a lot of people kind of overarch their back or wind up showing their ribs out when they do this. So really think about bracing the abs to make sure that you're holding your ribs in place and you're not arching into that position, and that you're able to squeeze into the ribs. So brace, squeeze, pull down and back with your shoulder, and I want you to get that retraction looking good. Beautiful. You're nailing it. All right, guys, so we just took Jazz through a very in-depth assessment to see what her specific issues were. That doesn't necessarily mean anything to you watching this. So I want to be able to show you how to do a self-assessment as well as go through the same steps that we went through with her to be able to get her arm into that overhead position that was a lot easier. So all you're going to do is find any wall structure you want and stand with your back against it. Heels, butt, shoulders, and head. And then from here, all I want you to do is use the wall as a surface that you want to bring your hand to. So straight elbow, bring your hand all the way up until your hand hits the wall. Okay? So she's almost there. Remember where she was before. She was like way out here. But let's say you're not quite at that stage where you can get your hand right back to the wall. If you want to do anything overhead, if you can't get your hand over your head, you can't do it with a weight in your hand without something else happening to get you there. So let's show you how to go through that range of motion to production the same way that we did with Jazz before. So turn around, and I want you to bring your hand up with a straight elbow and just put it up against the wall right around like this. Okay? So brace your abs. Now all I want you to do is push into the wall lightly. So we're assuming this is as high as she can get her arm. She's having her hand on the wall and then just pushing down into it lightly. Once she's done that for about 5 or 10 seconds, she relaxes and then brings her arm up a little bit higher and gets a little bit closer to use the wall as resistance. Presses into it again and repeats the same pattern until she can get to this point where she feels like she can get her arm all the way overhead and she's not arching through her back. Okay, now relax and bring your arm up. Good, so she's almost there, all the way in. Good, brace the abs, keep the elbow straight if you can, press, and own this sucker. Good, and relax and lift your hand a little higher. Boom, she's overhead. Now we didn't have to go through any kind of tissue treatment, we didn't have to do a medical, we didn't have to do any of that. We worked with what she was giving us in terms of what hurt, what didn't hurt, what control she had, what range of motion she was willing to do. So if she's able to get to this position, now we're able to actually give her a weight to go overhead if that's something that's really important to her. Nice work. High five.
Well, guys, that is all the time we have. Jazz, what are you doing here? This is not a flex show. My thanks to Dean. Dean, thank you so much for being on. Hey,
Good to have you guys on the channel.
Yeah. Jazz, how do you feel after, for real?
I honestly feel amazing.
Okay.
He completely changed my internal rotation. I mean, it's not completely fixed, but check this out.
What?
Has anybody seen this?
What can you do before?
It's like handshake stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, here's my flexion.
Dean, for people out there then that want to learn more about you, where can they find you? Where can they contact you? I understand you do training, you have information blogs.
Yep.
Where?
DeanSomerset.com. Omar's going to put a link to that in the comments. And if you want a training program, hightensile-strength.com. Otherwise, best place to go. I got a whole bunch of free articles on there, coaching, you name it. I'm willing to give everything away for free.
I recommend it.
Dean, thank you so much. Guys, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to like the damn video, leave a comment below. Dean, I understand you're coming back to Toronto end of February, so we'll get more content lined up. Just post below what you want to see. Without further ado, we got to get out of here. This bodybuilder's got to train.
Just got to get a flex on.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!